Hey everybody, Joey here. Welcome back. We are on part 3 of our 3-part series on the letter to Philemon. In part 1, we talked about the history and the story of the letter to Philemon and the characters therein. In part 2, we talked about and sort of discussed a more modern retelling of the letter to Philemon, equating those characters to characters in the modern time. And now in this part, in part 3, we're going to finally wrap up this series in one question: how does the letter to Philemon relate to our relationship with Jesus Christ and with God? And I hope to reveal some new things to you guys and to just have a real good time with this last part in this series. So let us get started. So in this letter and in our relationship with Jesus Christ and with God, you may have already guessed it, but we are Onesimus. Philemon is God, and Paul is Jesus Christ. That we as Onesimus are running away from Philemon or God. And because we may not like what he's doing, we may not like his rules or regulations or guidelines or his way of life or something or other, and we feel like we would be better off away and out of that environment. And not only that, we think that we should take our own lives into our own hands. And just like Onesimus took what he believed was rightfully his, we have taken our lives, which we believe are rightfully ours. Of course, we are the ones living it, right? Not God, not Jesus Christ. We are the ones living our lives. And so we take our lives into our own hands and we leave. We leave God behind, or we believe we do, and God is looking for us. God is waiting for us to come back, but we are going in the opposite direction. And then for some unknown reason, we don't know how, when, who, what, why, but we meet Jesus Christ. Somewhere along down the road, we meet up with Jesus Christ. And we tell him our story. We tell him why we ran away. We tell him what we ran away with, what we stole away from God. And Jesus Christ says, no, you have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. That you shouldn't be running away from him. Because you know why? Because God's love for you is more than you can ever imagine. That, I'm not saying that your family or friends on earth, don't love you because God loves you. No, your family loves you. Our families love us. And our friends adore us. But people fall in and out of love day in and day out. But the only love that is constant and eternal is God's for us. And I'm willing to stake my life on that statement. And so God's love is one that sticks with us wherever we go, whoever we are, whatever we do, whenever we want to come back to him. And that's the story that Jesus Christ is sharing with you. Not this dogmatic ruler that is trying to oppress you, but this loving Father who only wants the best for you and wants to challenge you to be better than you were yesterday and to look forward to tomorrow to make up for the mistakes that you did today. But he does it out of love and compassion. And that is what Jesus Christ is telling you. And then you suddenly, in a wave of relief, feel overwhelmed by this message. And you're saying, oh my gosh, I've gotten this all wrong. That I need to go back to God. That I need to run back to him. And so Jesus Christ, tells you to go back and that you are now a believer in God. That you are now, again, a child of God. And you have given your life back over to him. And so Jesus Christ says, no, that's not all though. Your journey has only just begun. Now that you are a believer, now you need to return to him. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, you need to give your all back to him. But we're afraid to do that. Because once we've gone away from God, we have this strange belief, strange lie in our minds that says, no, when we go back to God, he's going to punish us. There are going to be consequences out the wazoo that are going to be way tougher than anything that we could ever handle. And Jesus Christ says, no, don't worry, because I'm sending a letter with you. And in this letter, I tell God, no, any debts that this person has accumulated, anything that he has stolen away from you, God, anything that he has done in transgressions against you, Lord, put it on me. And I will pay it in full. As it says in Philemon, that Paul says to Philemon that any debts that Onesimus had accumulated, Paul would pay for it in full. And isn't that what Jesus Christ did? That Jesus Christ took all the debts, all the sins, all the transgressions, all the running away, all the miles taken in the wrong direction. He laid it all on his shoulders and took it to the cross for us. And the blood that was spilt on the cross and down Calvary's hill was used to write the letters to God saying, Lord, I am taking the blame for everything that your child has done because I love them so much and I love them with the love that you have for them, Lord. So please take them back as one of your own, as a brother or sister, as a child, as a son or daughter of you, Lord, of the Most High. And guess what, guys? That we may not know the end to the story of Philemon and Onesimus. We may not even know the end to the story with Oliver and Billy Graham in part 2. But we know the end to this story. And we know the end to your story and my story. Is that when we return to God, it's like we mentioned in part 2, I believe, that just like the prodigal son to the father, that we come back broken, bruised, but believing in God. And God runs to us. God runs to you when you come back, guys. He loves you so much. And so that's what this letter means to me personally. And that's what I believe it can relate to, is that we run away from God and we meet Jesus Christ and we realize the things that He has done, and that then we come back to God and He wraps us up in His arms and He says, son, daughter, I am never letting you go. So guys, that's all the time we have for this video. I'm praying that if you haven't accepted Christ, that you think about it and that you pray about it. Talk to Him. I know it may be weird if you haven't talked to Him before, if you haven't talked to Him in a while, but He wants to hear from you. He wants to talk with you. He wants to converse with you. So please take the time to talk with Him. And please take the time to think about where you stand with God. And if you need to go back to Him, please do, because He wants you back. But that's all we have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series on the letter to Philemon. And one more thing before I go, Joshua generation, you are loved, wanted, and called into greatness by a good, good Father. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.